Thousands of people are back in central London to join the final day of protests by activists of the Extinction Rebellion. They're demanding a ban on fossil fuels. Jonah Hull joins me now from the protest in London. Jonah?
Well, it is, as you say, the final day of a four-day series of protests that have taken place here in central London, dubbed the Big One. Tens of thousands of climate action demonstrators from all sorts of different organisations have been here demanding action, demanding change, with a message for the government and MPs back in the House of Commons today behind me that the climate emergency is simply too big to ignore. The atmosphere peaceful, calm, the police by and large keeping a pretty low-key watch on things, and I'm joined by Zoe Cohen, who is a spokesperson for Extinction Rebellion, one of the principal groups, of course, represented here. Zoe, tell me how it's gone over the last 4 days. An enormous group of people, quite disparate backgrounds, certainly different groups with one agenda.
Thanks, Jonah. Yeah, as you can see, it's a glorious day here. It's a joyful, joyful day, and it's the culmination of 4 incredible days. The big one, Extinction Rebellion, together with a coalition of 200 groups, had this target to get 100,000 people from the UK on the streets, and we've certainly met that, if not way exceeded it, over these 4 days. It's been a fantastic demonstration of actually so many people in this country care. We've got people from so many groups, from trade unions, faith groups, scientists, teachers, doctors, many, many, many groups, children, grandmas, you name it, people have been here. And all culminating around 2 really clear demands: that the people in this building stop licensing new fossil fuel projects, first demand, and that they institute emergency citizens' assemblies, groups of people selected from across the country by random selection to represent us, to make sure that we have a fair and safe transition out of this fossil fuel world into a better future.
And Zoe, do you get any sense that that's likely to happen? You've put a deadline on it?
Well, if past performance is anything to go by, no, Jonah, which is why we've also been talking today, the hashtag for today, as it were, is Choose Your Future. So it's inviting everyone, part of all of these organisations, which represent millions of people across the country, to step up in the way that they wish to. And there's three, many options. It's support picket, striking workers. So we're absolute solidarity with all striking workers, because the cost of living crisis is the flip side of the climate crisis and the addiction to oil that these people keep us addicted to. So there's support striking workers, organise locally, whether that's with Extinction Rebellion or your own local group, to fight for climate and social justice at a local level. And then for people who want to, they can get trained up to take part in civil disobedience.
Those are the 3. Let me just ask you this. It is very noticeable that the atmosphere is quite different here to other Extinction Rebellion protests we've seen. There's nobody chained to anybody else. There's nobody superglued to anything. It is very calm. It is very peaceful. That's a real change of tactic.
Yes and no. I would say that all Extinction Rebellion demonstrations have always been calm and peaceful. Sometimes they've had a spicy element of arrestableness in them. This time not. And that is an intentional decision to be as welcoming and as inclusive to as broad a church, synagogue and mosque of people as want to come. And it has enabled many more people to go from sofa to street. And that's really important, because wherever we all are, and your viewers across the country are, blue lights get through, by the way, as they always do. Yeah. Wherever people are watching this, we know everyone's concerned. So take action. Don't just sit on your sofa. Come on the street if you can. Write to your MP. Do what the next thing is for you. That's what it needs. These people in this building need to know that we care. Okay. And this beautiful coalition is only going to increase, because the climate emergency is accelerating and we're accelerating too.
Zoe, thank you so much. Unite to survive, stop the divide. Those are some of the slogans we see on the streets of central London today. The 4th day of protests wrapping up with a demand that MPs act. Not a great deal of hope that they will, though, at least not today. Back to you.
Day 4 of 4. Jonah Hull, thank you for that interview there in central London.